Hello, welcome to the Always Be Comedy podcast. Timo, I wonder if we keep the intro blissfully short. Oh, can you believe it stopped the nanosecond I said that?
Yeah.
Basically, there's the most, let's go with heroic levels of roadworks taking place outside the Gill house. And Tim, the timing on that was exceptional because we've been chatting for a while and it's just been,
Yeah.
and then as soon as we started recording, that. God, I can only assume they're fans of the podcast.
They respect the pod. They respect it.
They saw the red light come on for record. Now, come on, they've got Imogen on Andrews on this week. Our guest today is the great Imogen Andrews. Timo, what I unashamedly love about us, hang on, this is a very confident start, is how we live vicariously through the acts who've found success through the online sketches. I think we're as fascinated as each other because a lot of it is new intel to us.
Very much so. Imogen Andrews, if you don't know, she is someone who started in online doing like comedy sketches filmed on her phone, and they've gone so brilliantly, and like the numbers and some of them are just astonishing. She is doing her first live show at the Edinburgh Fringe, which, if I'm honest, I could see becoming a tour.
Oh, for sure, and maybe even a TV show, and also to the SNL people who listen.
Yeah,
I think we could consider the Imogen Andrews hat very politely thrown into the ring if they were expanding the cast for season 2, as they do in the US. They're often adding fresh blood. The roadworks are back, just so we are aware. Now, Tim and I, we put a video up recently, and I think it was the London Marathon bit. Timo, did it get maybe 150 likes, maybe 200 likes? For us, I would say, so it's very self-deprecating. We would say it was a success. It did pretty well, right?
Yeah.
Hang on, let's do this in real time. Here we go. It got 16,000 views. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Right? That's just on Instagram alone. 259 likes, right? I would say.
I didn't know that. Brilliant, yeah.
I didn't know that either, actually. That went way better than I could have planned.
Yeah.
So for us, that's like, imagine the way NASA celebrate when a rocket successfully takes off. That's me and Tim like high-fiving and hugging. And, Imogen Andrews has got a sketch here. The buzz I get when a random interaction in public goes well. How many likes? 768,000 likes.
Big. Really big. Very funny video, by the way. Very funny.
Sorry, yeah. By the way, she's superb.
Yeah.
Just to make that absolutely clear, she's fantastic. Very skilled sketch actor. Also, as you'll discover in this episode, what a life-affirmingly lovely dude.
Oh yeah, really lovely, really lovely. Neither of us had met her before, and yeah, she was a real delight. An absolute credit.
It was like she was picking our brains about the world of live comedy, and we were certainly picking her brains and finding out more about the world of is it called online comedy, Tim?
We probably sound very old with that. Maybe I don't know what the official term would be, but yeah.
I've got her agent's website, online sketch work.
Fantastic.
That sounds nice, doesn't it?
Great. She's been described as an online comedy sensation. Brilliant.
Which is fair. I mean, over 300 million views.
Yeah, oh man, great stuff.
Gosh, with more than 500,000 followers across social media. But you know what I found interesting? Her honesty about her relationship with social media and her phone. She's very honest.
Yeah, hugely. It's a really good, interesting chat. Like, she asks us as many questions as we ask her, probably.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
I think our egos would love that to be like a regular thing.
Yeah. She is doing the Edinburgh Fringe. She's doing the full run at the Ace Dome in Pleasance Dome. It's a lovely, lovely venue at 9:30 p.m. It's a good slot, and I firmly recommend.
Right, so as Timo, Imogen Andrews, comedy sensation. There are lots more comedy sensations
Very nice.
at Always Be Comedy. I mean, that was circuitous at best. Alwaysbecomedy.com/tickets. Timo, tonight, assuming that you're hoping that you're listening on Tuesday, the 19th of May, last few tickets for Laura Smith's work in progress for her upcoming Born Aggie tour. There are a few newsletter tickets. If you use the code STU, capital STU, tickets for £8. This Thursday in Chelsea, Sam Nicoresti, Ayawade Bangboyi, Paddy Young in Chelsea. That's unbelievable. And then this Friday, another UK SNL theme here. Sean McLaughlin, not very special guest. You will know who that is if you're on the newsletter and a regular listener. Blank Peng and SNL UK's very own Jack Shep. That's exciting, Tim.
That's hugely exciting. Someone else that we've never met, Jack Shep. Very, very excited to see their work in person.
I was at the BBC canteen the other night working on the Martin Lewis show, and I wasn't working in the canteen. I was having my
He does the sandwiches.
I won't put it past him. The guy's a grafter.
Absolutely.
I was having my pre-match meal, and Jack Shep was 20 yards away. And Tim, I had to stop myself from going over. Me and Tim think you're brilliant. But we will be doing that at Always Be Comedy next week. So
well, absolutely, yeah. You just delayed the inevitable.
I've delayed the inevitable. He looked quite busy. They were clearly working on a sketch.
Yes, absolutely.
So I did give them a wide berth, even though mentally I was like, what if I went over? No, James, just chill. Timo, I'll tell you what, next Thursday, I mean, we are down to last few tickets. Mystery guest Nish Kumar, Rachel Galvo, Thursday the 28th of May. And then such a hero of comedy, Rob Newman, is doing 2 work in progress shows. One of them is sold out, Tuesday the 26th of May. And there are a few tickets left for Friday the 29th of May. I will be there for that one. I'm in Leipzig with Crystal Palace from Tuesday the 26th to Thursday the 28th. But I will be back for Rob Newman. I think that'll go down well with Emily as I come back from Leipzig and I tell her that I'm going to see Rob Newman on the 29th of May. Anyway, Timo. I'll tell you what, Tim. Wednesday the 3rd of June, Flo and Joan, work in progress. Not many left for that. But as you will know by now, there are 3 Always Be Comedy venues. There's the Tommy Field in Kennington. That's every Monday to Friday, plus a lot of Sundays. There's Chelsea, which is every Thursday, although we're going to take July and August off because Timo and I go away for August. Anyway, that's too much information. And then there is the Bedford in Balham. And it's got its own page, alwaysbecomedy.com/Balham, and we are adding new shows and new acts all the time. The next show there that isn't sold out is Saturday the 20th of June. Finn Taylor, Samira Banks, Horatio Gould. But we're adding shows all the time. For example, Friday the 11th of September, Michelle de Swartz, Joel Dommett, Red Richardson.
Strong.
Tim Lewis.
Very strong. Very strong.
It's good stuff. Right then, without further ado, here is the wonderful, the brilliant, the comedian, actor, creator, Imogen Andrews. Imogen, please talk us through. There seems to be a few people doing this. Why the debut this year?
Because I'd written a show, and I just thought I'll have to write a whole new show if I do it the next year. So I just thought, why not? And I just I have the energy and the time to do it, and it takes up a lot of energy and time. So I think that it's just worth capitalizing on that really and going for it. I
Good for
like a
you.
challenge.
To anyone that's not yet got a ticket, what would they expect from the Unlikable Worms?
So, if you're familiar with my online comedy, there's some characters that pop up in that. There's some new characters. It's basically a character sketch show with a little bit of stand-up. It's multimedia. I keep it quite varied. And yeah, it's just very silly and playful, sort of a little bit topical at times. But yeah, hopefully just a fun evening.
How do you find the transition from online to live and in person.
Live. Yeah, it's very different. It's very different. It's more rewarding and kind of fulfilling in ways because you just get you just get people's attention for longer. I think you're just fighting for people's attention so much online. You're like, how can I make this video snappier? And it's interesting because I did a course of how to write comedy, and it's, this, you learn that the sketch builds and you end with the really funniest point. And then with online stuff, it's almost like you have to flip it and think, how can I make this really funny immediately? And it's kind of going a bit back to what I learned originally about comedy, and that you can kind of build things and just have a bit more time to breathe, really. But yeah, it's difficult as well. It's sort of, they both can be humbling, but when stuff doesn't go well on stage, it's a little bit more cutting, I think. But I think that might just be because I'm not used to it as much. That makes sense.
It does. The feeling of, in the old Wile E. Coyote cartoons, the
Mm.
feeling of he's waiting for that big explosion, i.e., the laughter. Sort of got like his fingers in it. Oh, here we go. And when
Yeah,
it doesn't come, oh, it's a
I know.
chastening few seconds.
I think what I would, yeah, love your advice on as well, but what I'm learning is like how, if that doesn't happen, there's a big moment, a joke that you've planned, you're like, people are gonna go mad, it's gonna be so funny, and then it doesn't happen. How to like not let that ruin your energy and just kind of just move on to the next thing and just keep going.
I would say trust your instincts. So even saying that out loud is funny. So if you went, I'm not going to let that ruin my energy, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like doing a commentary on. And I
Yeah,
think
people do love that, don't they?
you can't beat stagecraft. You can't. So
Mm,
anything like that where you talk your way. Oh, I mean, a huge hero of mine, David Spade, American comedian,
mhm.
former Saturday Night Live. When he did his first ever gig. This would be mid to late '80s. He his material was not going great,
Mm,
and then he was doing little asides in between.
mhm.
So things like pause for applause, that sort of thing. And
Yeah,
then after the show, the guy who was running the gig said, "You're funniest with your little
yeah.
asides. Your act is the aside. So
Mm.
never be afraid to lean into
Into
the,
that, yeah,
because
yeah.
I think that the rookie, not rookie, but the beginners, a thing that you learn rather than letting the bomb or a potential tumbleweed, rather than letting it derail you, you sort of use it to your advantage. And tell you what, Tim, Joel Dommett is an absolute king of that. Is he might say something like,
Yeah.
I'm having a good time, something like that, and then
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're all back on side.
Yeah, it's funny because when I've recorded shows and watched them back, those kind of moments, they do often get the biggest laughs. And
Yeah,
then so I'm trying to, rewrite the show based on what got the biggest laughs. And I'm like, should I just have a whole show where I plan for things to go wrong and then, that gets the biggest laugh. But I guess it's just because it's so in the moment, isn't it? And it's such a sort of real thing that you're seeing that the audience can really feed off. And but yeah, no, it's good. It's really good advice.
I think they're endearing moments because the crowd see you
Mm.
for who you are, and it's relatable. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen it. We've seen some of the biggest comedians in the country. If they're prepping for a tour, and if they say a fairly candid, "Well, I'm not taking that on tour," or something like that, then it
Mm.
does. It galvanizes the room, gets everyone back on board. So
Yeah, it's interesting doing character stuff though, because when you're a stand-up, which I do a little bit of in the show,
yeah,
the audience knows that you're trying to make jokes. And I think when you're a character, it's hard it's like breaking the fourth wall like that. Can sometimes break you out of like a sketch or a situation that you've tried to set up. So it's interesting figuring out how to have those moments in character, especially. But it's fun. It's fun to figure out, and I think that yeah, it just it yeah, I think yeah, I don't know really. I think it depends how much I've sort of set up. A lot of my characters are kind of talking to an audience anyway, so it can work. But it's an interesting thing to think about with character stuff.
and it depends on the character, I suppose. I mean, I've seen like say Dame Edna
Mm.
would, maybe because that's such an abrasive character that it works. So Dame Edna, if there was an icky moment, would staunchly remain as Dame Edna, and
Yeah.
ad lib something in the moment, and that's fine. But yeah, you're right. I mean,
Mm.
it wouldn't work with all characters, as I suppose, would it?
Yeah, it's slightly different, but yeah, I guess there are ways in which you can kind of make a joke off the back of something, or yeah, but it's no, it's fun. It's yeah, I have a lot of respect for people that it's just such a craft, and I have so much respect for people that are just able to kind of hold the room.
I mean,
Uh,
Harry Hill is essentially a character act, and he's got his. I mean, he does this anyway, if they're laughing or not. But he's get on board the laughter train. All of that.
yeah,
So
yeah,
if
yeah.
people aren't going for it, he almost physically is willing them to join in.
Yeah, exactly. There's things you can do that work for the particular character. Um, yeah, that's interesting.
And Tim, he'd do that laughometer. He'd stick his finger through a piece of paper.
Yeah, God, I miss that. Yeah, I haven't seen that for years. It's great.
Great, brilliant devices, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
People,
Yeah.
come on,
absolutely.
whoa,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
he's very good. But now, please, I'm sort of living vicariously through you here.
Hmm.
Please talk us through what is it like when you give the online comedy a go,
Mhm.
but then you notice, oh, hang on a minute, this is cut through. What's that like when it first starts blowing up?
Hmm. Um, yeah, it's a bit surreal. It's a little bit anxiety inducing because you're suddenly getting all, just so I think especially when you're someone that doesn't have a lot of followers and then you first have videos kind of blowing up. I had it especially doing characters. People don't know if it's real or not.
Mm.
So you kind of get a lot of people that because they can't look at you, they look at your profile, you don't necessarily have a whole bunch of you're not set up in that way yet. So that was interesting. But yeah, it's exciting. I didn't really, it was weird because I had some videos do well, but I was I sort of was doing other things and I just really didn't think it would have much of a longevity to it. So I was like, I'll just make videos when I feel like it. And I didn't really jump on that train of things going really well. So I kind of left doing them for like a couple of months in between. And then, so it was a bit of a slow process, whereas I know other people that, they really blew up overnight kind of thing because they just kept posting and were like, I want to get massive. But for me, it was sort of, I think I was just a bit confused by the whole thing for some reason. But
How
yeah,
how often are you putting stuff out now?
yeah, much more regularly. Like a couple times a week or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think once you're on that train and then it becomes your job, it's really hard to feel like you can ever get off it, which is another reason for trying to do more live stuff, to just
Yeah.
feel like there's just more balancing my life, I guess. Because it is a bit like, yeah, I don't know. I think it's the way that the apps are designed that you're kind of made to feel like you need to be popping up on on people's feed as much as you can. Otherwise they'll just forget. But you also don't want to annoy people, I think, and like be popping up every day. So I think there's a bit of a balance.
What's your now? You seem to have a very good head on your shoulders, and so where I'm going with this is,
Mm.
I've chatted with some comedians who had online success, and
Mhm.
they were very honest, and they were frantically chasing that next
Mm.
big smash, and so
Mhm.
they post the video, and it's this feeling of even I'll name someone I don't think you mind. Is it
Yeah.
Aaron Kraskell, the lad he goes in the supermarket and says something
Mm. Mhm.
outrageous to get the reaction from Ethel, who's doing a grocery shopping. So he was very honest, but he said he'd share a video, and if it wasn't getting as many hits, he's like, "Oh, come on, come on."
Mm-mm.
Does it get like that, or are you able to have more of
Oh yeah,
oh, right,
it
okay.
does get like that. I think at the start I just didn't, yeah, maybe it was just the sort of overwhelmingness kind of took over and I was just like doing other stuff as well at the time. But then once I kind of got into it, yeah, I mean it's definitely addictive. I mean even now it's like I think you post something and then your brain kind of it's a bit like what you were saying with tennis making a joke on stage and then you're waiting for that explosion to happen and then sometimes you post things and it's just like nothing really happens and then you're like but my brain needs the needs the dopamine fucking like it um, so yeah it is I'm not exempt I'm not that yeah my head isn't that strong on my shoulders but yeah you have to I mean I take weekends off it to try and break that pattern of being really hooked. Yeah, I don't really like feeling sort of addicted to anything. So I'm sort of like, I try, but it's hard. It's mad. I mean, they design it to. I'm always trying to figure out the algorithm. I'm like, they've designed. I've started this new thing, which I think is probably just makes me sound completely insane and doesn't do anything. But I've started trying to punish the apps. So if they don't blow up a video of mine, because I think often it says like if it sees that you're spending loads of time on the apps and stuff and commenting, it will kind of reward you more. But I've started trying to punish the apps. So if it's not blowing up my videos, I'll just go on the apps way less on on TikTok and Instagram to see if they try and get me back in with a big like. I just sound crazy, don't I?
I've never
No,
heard
this
that
is.
before.
I
I've
don't,
never
it's
heard
not,
this
no one's
before.
recommended it to me. I have no idea if it works, but they want you on it as much as possible. So my theory is put it aside, then they'll blow on up for you. I'll tell you if it works.
Can I just say that you couldn't have two more interested people than Tim and myself.
Oh my
We
God.
are endlessly fascinated by all this. We're
Yeah.
we'd be when you're describing that, we're on the edge of our seats because that.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a playing hard to get.
Yeah. Playing hard to
Okay
get.
then, Instagram. Let's see
Yeah.
how much
I don't need you. I've got the real world. I'm doing live stuff now.
I'm in the cinema, motherfucker.
Yeah, literally. I can watch stuff beyond 30 seconds actually. Um, but I don't think it works. I'm not sure
Okay.
yet.
I
But yeah.
watched that. The there's a documentary. It's a Sky documentary. Andrew Tate and the Dark Web. It's called something like that.
Oh.
And it's oh man, it's fascinating. And there's a guy that worked at one of the places, and he said he'd said to his boss, so he's like a talking head on this. He said, "Would it not be healthier to put the power in the hands of the customer rather than the algorithm?" And was basically told. And so it's the almighty algorithm. It really, I mean, it's the guy lost his job, by the way, in the end for
Wow.
suggesting this. But I mean, everyone's trying to crack the algorithm, but it's
Yeah, I know.
no
It's
one really knows the magic formula, do they?
a serious thing. I mean, do you feel, because with, stand-ups, it's like the whole world of social media and live comedy, they just feel like they're just merging more and more now because it's also like people like me, you get a bit stuck being a content creator, whatever, if you don't show that you can do other things. But then on the other flip side, you get a lot of stand-ups that are like they need their clips to be going viral to sell shows. So it's like it's kind of just unavoidable, isn't it, using social media now?
It's unavoidable. I mean, there are some comedians will simply not go
Yeah.
down that route. You know, they're the purist. But we also know some comedians who'd always said, "I'm not doing it," and then they sort of feel that they have to join in.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
so if you can't beat them, join them. There's a little bit of this, I think. There's a little bit of, some stand-ups were, "God, these blooming online comedians." And then those very same stand-ups
Yeah,
are,
yeah.
"Hey, here I am, putting petrol in my car."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What was I going to say? Yeah, do you think that the ones that don't are able to not use it already are successful before kind of social media kicked off in such a big way? Because I feel like anyone starting now kind of has to do it, right?
100%. The
Yeah.
very specific person I'm thinking of,
Mm.
Tim, I imagine you're thinking of the same person. You might have to beep this out. It's Tim Key.
Mm.
It's the person I'm thinking of. He's already very successful with a big fan
Yeah.
base,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
therefore doesn't have to. But then we had Stuart Lee, objectively, one of the all-time greats. Stuart was on our podcast. If he was back on a few weeks ago, and he was saying that he thinks that he in the future will probably have to go down that avenue where
Really?
it
Wow.
probably wouldn't be him doing it. He'd probably get someone to do it, but
Yeah.
someone would go through his back catalogue and share clips from
Yeah.
old specials and what have you. So I
Yeah,
think it's
everyone's trying to do it. Yeah. I think
the,
James Acast, I think, is quite anti social media, isn't he? I think.
Yeah, well, he has no social medias
Yeah, he has no
at
social
all.
media. Yeah.
But I guess, like with Tim as well, Tim
Mm,
still puts up poems. He still puts up like
mm,
work on there. So like
mhm.
he still has an online presence. He still does podcasts, and those clips will turn up. I think
Yeah,
really Acast is the only one I can think of, but he still has a huge podcast which is putting out clips multiple times a week.
exactly. So
So
it's sort of like you need that other medium
I don't know if
other than
there's
on stage.
anyone really. There's only one person, that's Daniel Kitson, who isn't doing anything on social media whatsoever. But everyone
Mm,
else, I think, does. Everyone else.
yeah,
Also,
yeah.
I can't think of many people who are, you know, able to make a living off it and what have you, who
Mm,
are just doing it off the stand up. I think everyone has either
Mm.
got a podcast or is sharing the clips or is doing some sort of video show.
right.
Tim, I think you're right. I can't think of anyone beyond.
Um, Kevin Bridges, but even then, he's got the books. He's
No,
an
Bridges
author.
shares loads of clips.
Mm,
Oh, sorry. Oh, I thought you didn't mean clips. I just thought you meant stand up exclusive.
mm,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
look at say. I mean, someone like Jack D has done a great job because he's got 40 years of 40 years of specials and TV appearances, what have you. So he's able to. Again, I'm not saying it's him doing it or anything, but he's able to go to that bank vault of gold and
Yeah.
share
I
stuff.
mean it's it's kind of amazing to open up someone like him to young audiences as well.
yeah,
Like people will just see a clip and be like, I probably have no idea who he is if you're like a solely online 20-year-old or whatever.
absolutely. Yeah.
So I mean it is an amazing way to kind of just, have your work exposed, but yeah, it's just a bit brutal, isn't it? That it's sort of like you can get someone that's so established and so talented, sort of still feeling the need to. But yeah, maybe we should all sort of do what I'm doing and just play hard to get with it and see see if that works. By the way, my dog is now snoring quite loudly, so just let me know if you can
We
hear it.
honestly, we
Can't
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 hear
hear
a
it.
hear
snoring
Okay,
dog.
good,
it.
good.
Part of me doesn't believe you. It's another character.
Do you want to see?
Yeah.
There you go. There's the
Lovely.
Oh,
evidence. Oh,
hang on. What dog are we talking there? Because I'll
she's
tell
a
you why.
yeah, go
My
on.
two young the two Gill girls are
Mm.
desperate for a dog. They want the dog to be
Oh,
the new
okay.
summer signing. But we're
So
Oh,
she's a
wow.
French bulldog, and I wouldn't recommend the breed. Love her to pieces. I adopted her. But they're so prone to illness. So you will be in the vet a lot. They're
Ah,
probably a healthy ones, but if you do get one, find a good breeder. I think mine was from like a dog farm in Hungary or something.
oh,
So yeah, she's got I mean, I live in the vet and she can't be insured because I got her when she was already like an adult dog. So anyway,
sure,
it was
sure.
boring. But yeah, so get a healthy one if you can.
Thank you very much. That is genuinely good advice.
And also
Um,
one that doesn't snore and interrupt every single voice note, every single phone call. Because if I don't explain, it can sound a little bit like maybe I'm just like farting constantly.
yeah,
Because I've left voice notes to people and then played it back and then it's just like, "Ah."
yeah.
I was like, oh
sure.
God. So yeah, I just need to come with like a little like thing on my t-shirt, not on my t-shirt, just yeah, at the top of everything that I say is just, there's a dog snoring, it's not me.
I feel like with the sketch, everything that you're doing, the characters and so on, your timing feels great because it does fit. Thanks in large part to the success of Saturday Night Live UK.
Hmm.
It's a reminder that the public love sketches. I mean, Tim
Mm.
and I, a couple of comedy acts, we knew that the public loved sketches,
Yeah.
and it's almost as if the comedy were, the industry's gone. Oh yeah, sketch comedy's good,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Um,
it disappeared for a while, didn't it? Not disappeared, but it
it
took a
pretty
back
much did.
seat.
From
Yeah.
TV, it disappeared. Yeah.
It did, yeah. Yeah, it's cool that that's coming back. And I also think that going up to somewhere like the Fringe and doing character stuff, I think probably quite there was an era, where it kind of disappeared where it was kind of felt like sort of pure stand-up was really the focus of comedy for a while. And I think that now you can go and do weird characters and you'll
Mm.
kind of hopefully get, a bit of the same kind of attention and buzz because there are shows like SNL that require characters and I don't know, sketches, obviously, you know.
Would that be a dream? A Lorne Michaels type spotting you at Edinburgh, and then hang on a minute, we've got season two. Get the contract out.
I mean, I wouldn't say no. It would be
Yeah.
pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, I grew up really with sitcom and I love sitcom and I think I love sketches, but actually I think it's characters on sitcoms that kind of inspire a lot of my sketches as well. But obviously, with the format of online, you not. I've tried in the past to make like a bit of a. There was a bit of a storyline happening in some of my with one of my characters, but it kind of just gets lost after a while, and people are like, because not every video gets viewed by the same
Yeah.
people the same amount. So it kind of, you kind of have to do. You can have recurring characters, but you kind of have to do sketches more. But I do love, yeah, I love sitcom and narrative comedy as well. But
What's
yeah, I mean, it'd be amazing to get on something like SNL. It's just so cool that it's, that there's just so much excitement around it, really. I think they're really smashing it. Have you guys been enjoying it?
oh
Been
my
loving
God,
it.
it's like we have shares in it. We talk
Yeah.
about it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's great to see Al Nash, someone who really his sketches were largely online. He wasn't doing loads of live stuff really, and
No, no.
he's been one for the stars, I think, for sure.
Oh yeah, he's been absolutely brilliant, and he's
Yeah,
he's written some great sketches for it as well.
yeah.
I think yeah, he's absolutely perfect for it.
I
Yeah,
find the collaboration sort of thing of like what's happening with online sketches now really interesting. How
yeah,
like you will collaborate with Niall Gray or
yeah.
whoever, and
Loads of
like
Indigo, yeah.
Finley Christie's doing stuff with like Jake Bardwaj and stuff. And like
Mm,
just everyone's come together. I think it's really. I don't really have a question. I just think it's really nice, and it's
yeah,
really exciting.
yeah,
Well,
it's
no,
nice.
so
It
is
is.
that a thing then, Imogen? In the way that a
Mm.
lot of stand-ups on the circuit are pals, are you online guys? Is there a community there?
There is. I think it took a little bit of time maybe for me to sort of find everyone, but actually, yeah, it's really nice. It's just so nice to have a kind of community with it because it can be quite a lonely job posting stuff
Sure.
online, tiny violin, but it's it's really lonely getting all these people to like my video. But no, it's just really, I mean, it's just fun. It's so much fun making stuff with other people because I think with comedy it's weird, I've done sketches where it's like I'm pretending there's someone off camera talking back to me, and you get kind of used to that on social media because that's what a lot of people do. But
Mm,
it's so much better when you actually have someone to bounce off and
yeah.
yeah, have chemistry with and stuff like that. And yeah, we're all really supportive of each other. And my friend the other day said, "Oh, when you meet up with everyone, is it like really funny? Are you just making jokes together all the time?" And I was like, to be honest, we're just bitching about the algorithm and like ads that we have to post and stuff. But it's nice to have people to talk to that stuff about a bit as well.
You, so which sitcoms would you be talking then? Which sitcoms and characters were you a fan of?
Yeah, I feel like I grew up in a really good era for them. It was like Peep Show, IT Crowd, In-Betweeners, and then you had weirder stuff like the Mighty Boosh and like Green Wing. Um, yeah, and there were quite a lot of sketch shows like French and Saunders and stuff, and Mitchell and Webb. Um, yeah, I liked Gavin and Stacey. I always really loved the Pam, the mom character, and Gavin and Stacey, and um, yeah, I think that it was just honestly, I just felt like at the time, maybe also being a teenager and you don't question as much. Well, there was less channels on the TV or whatever, you didn't have social media as much, but it was like everything I watched, I just was always making me laugh. And I sort of always just constantly had The Simpsons on every given moment as well. So yeah, it was sort of just constant growing up. And I do feel like there's been amazing shows since I kind of grew up a bit, but you kind of don't have that where there's like several really strong, funny things on at the
Mm.
same time. It's sort of like you get one show that's really good and then a little bit of time, and then another one is what I'm finding anyway.
Total agreement.
Yeah.
I didn't realize what a golden age that was. As you're reading off those shows
Yeah.
there, you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're right.
I know
Yeah,
because they were all kind of at the same time, right? Really, yeah.
Peep Show. I
We
mean,
were
what
lucky.
Jesus
Peep
Christ.
Show. I've watched it so many times and it just still makes
Oh
me laugh.
yeah.
It's so good. It's aged well, I think, as well, for most part.
We've had Jesse Armstrong down at Always Be Comedy a couple of
Oh.
times, and I'm unapologetic about my levels of fanboying.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I mean, God, it's inspired me so much. Like, I just have to stop myself from like stealing actual lines from it sometimes. I'm like, no, you didn't come up with that joke. That was from Peep Show. It's just so embedded into my brain.
That is so true. Tim and I quote The Simpsons I mean, almost like it's almost like a second language. That golden, golden era where Conan O'Brien was part of the writing staff. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, 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 yeah. It's mad that it's still going. Sometimes I do watch some of the newer ones and I'm like, I can't believe this is still going. But yeah, there was a real golden era for it. It's just
yeah.
slightly, yeah, I can't quite connect to it as much now
We
because they
don't
have
really say
phones and stuff. It's like it doesn't really work for
we don't
me.
really say negative things on the podcast, but I'm
Yeah,
going to.
no.
It's quite a rough watch, isn't it, at the moment?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I feel really bad actually because Simpsons is like it's honestly it's like God to me, but it's yeah, it is. I think it's just the fact that they like there's technology and stuff in it as well. I just love that the simplicity of it. Um,
It went from the simplicity, and then it went to like the wacky adventures of the Simpson family, and it's like,
mm.
oh, this isn't what the Simpsons is,
I know you just want those really strong recurring characters, and but I mean it's amazing because the episodes are only like I think they're like under 20 minutes or 20 minutes or something, and like
Mm.
just the storylines as well. You're like it's just yeah.
Have
Oh,
you
love the Simpsons.
have you had it with the videos
Mm.
where um, some like insane A-lister has liked it, or shared it, you know? I can't even imagine what that must be like. If I ever saw, say, Jason Statham has liked your video, I think I'd burst into tears. Have you had those moments?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Not like millions of them. I who have I had? I think recently Amy Lou Wood like shared something on her story of
Oh
mine.
my
Really
God!
cool.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I had a funny thing where yeah, Central C was a bit of a fan of my comedy because
Right.
he realized I was filming sketches like where he's from as well. So sort of yeah, spoke to him a little bit. Yeah, it's weird. It is weird. I think when it's people that are in the comedy world, especially, um, like I was going to mention him later, but Mo Gilligan was always someone I looked up to, and like seeing him liking a sketch or something like that, or the People Just Do Nothing guys, loved that sitcom. And like now I kind of like vaguely know Asim Chowdhury a little
Oh
bit,
my
and I'm
God!
just like, that's so cool, you know. It really, that's the stuff that does, yeah. It is really exciting.
See
Yeah,
that sitcom, like all the great sitcoms, it had a real heart to it, and he brought a lot of that heart, didn't he?
he did. Yeah, he was a brilliant character in it. Yeah, I love that sitcom. Yeah. See, that's one that I would think is more like a recent, really strong one. But actually, it's not even that. It's like that's like 10 years ago now, isn't
Yeah, it
it?
probably is. Yeah.
Oh, I do this a lot. Even
I
like
know.
I'll put a song on for the kids, and here's a recent one, and you check it came out in like
The Beatles.
2006. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, Valdunican, brilliant. Cheers, Dad. Now, before you go to the Fringe, have you?
Yeah.
I mean, Tim's the guy to ask, I suppose. But has anyone given you good Fringe advice?
Don't I've I've got a flat with a sofa bed, and I've been like, I've got a sofa bed, come up and stay. I'll probably offer it to one of you guys by the end of this chat. And then my management were like, don't do that because you're gonna be like really knackered, and if you have to
Yeah.
host. So anyway, if anyone's listening to this and I've offered you a sofa bed, I will be retracting that for the fringe.
Ju- The best bit of advice. Listen, Edinburgh. I'll be honest with you. Me and Edinburgh, unfortunately, we just didn't get on. I'm
Yeah.
not. I just don't think I'm
Yeah, no,
mentally strong
tell
enough.
me what was your experience like?
Chastening.
Really? Fucking hell. Yeah, people do they are like, oh God, it's amazing, but it's horrible, but it's it's brilliant, but you will feel like death. And I'm like, fucking hell, how hard is this? But I think it's because everyone goes out and gets pissed every night as well, right?
Well, it's important that I give you the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
The other person here, Tim Lewis, is Mr. Edinburgh. He's the
Oh yeah,
biggest
yeah.
cheerleader.
Right, okay.
He's
Can you
he's
tell
Johnny
me yours
Positive
then?
when it
Or
comes
yeah.
to he. In fact, I'm normally like Tigger, but on Edinburgh, I'm probably Eeyore, whereas
Yeah.
Tim is full Tigger when it comes to Edinburgh. The best bit of advice I'd heard, Timo, Joe Wilkinson said when he'd do it, he would deliberately stay outside of Edinburgh, keep himself to himself, commute in, do the show, get the fuck out,
Yeah.
back to where he was staying, and just sort of he did it like that. Timo, what would your advice be?
It's tricky because crucially, I don't perform. I don't ever have to write a show or anything, so I'm less invested really in some
Yeah.
regards.
Takes out quite a key
Yeah, yeah.
ingredient.
Tim is because he's Mr. Crowder, he's show running his pick of the shows. I
Yeah.
mean, I've
Mm.
seen it happen. Some of the greatest acts in the country will approach Tim to show run. I've seen Timo. I mean, I'm making your head big here.
Yeah.
I've seen comedians ask Tim, "Please, will you?" And he's like, "Can't. Got too many
Yeah.
show running, too
Yeah.
many shows, baby."
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lovely, lovely thing, but I don't know. I understand what Joe's coming from with that, but I think it's quite nice. I really like the Fringe how you are running into someone you recognise or know every 20 minutes. I think that is really nice.
Well, yeah. But
But
also with that advice, like surely a lot of it, I think for someone like me is like meeting people and like mingling and stuff, right? And getting kind of friendly
It's
with.
funny, there was a. So I just think if you're, listen. This is
Mm.
I'm being very honest with you. So I
Yeah,
don't. I've always thought in life in general, if you're good enough, it happens, and all of this.
sure.
And there was one Edinburgh, myself, another comedian. There was a another comedian was doing all the networking and the mingling, and my
Mm.
friend and I, that's not us.
no.
And so
Right.
we would say in private, you don't get. It's what we were very new acts, so we're saying privately, you don't get signed because you're good at mingling. You get signed because you're brilliant
Yeah.
at comedy, right?
Yeah.
And all this. Anyway, you know where this is going. We did not get signed, and the person who, if I'm honest, anyway, not my cup of tea, but the person that was doing all the mingling and the networking, they got
Yeah.
they got signed. So it was a real lesson. Some yeah.
Yeah, maybe I don't even need a show. Maybe I can just like, play my videos on the screen and then
Yeah.
just jingle. That'd be
My-
the best new stand-up act.
My genuine only advice is just don't go in expecting anything, because that's just how you go mad. That's how you
Yeah.
go. That's how on nominations day you write like a six-page Facebook status which everyone shares. I mean that's quite a dated
Yeah.
but
Well,
I
I might
remember
take,
those
take
days.
to it again, yeah, if it feels like the right.
I
right.
think just try and try and do the best show you can. That's the only thing, because otherwise you go insane.
Yeah. Well, I'm struggling a bit now to balance the like marketing of the show with actually writing the show. And I think at the moment I'm putting
Yeah.
quite a lot of energy is going to like, got to sell the tickets, got to set up the work in progress gigs, got to do this, got to do that. And then I'm like, but I'm not actually writing the show. Again, I'm not going to end up having a bloody show, but there's so much to do really. But yeah, I think making the show good definitely makes sense to be the important thing.
We're all essentially one person. We're our own comedy industry, aren't we? We're doing every
Yeah.
one person is responsible. I mean, it's a great thing, but it can also. You're right. It can get in the way of the creativity.
Yeah, I think just getting people to care is a whole job in itself, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's a whole skill. Um, but yeah, no, it is exciting. I think I'm just, it sounds so earnest to me, but I'm just really excited to experience it and just also get that practice because you could do like several years of 10-minute slots here and there, but just having that many hours under my belt, I think will, hopefully I can come out of it feeling like okay, I can actually do this a bit.
My wife, who's heavily into nutrition, I think her advice definitely would be careful what you're eating
Yeah.
for energy levels and sanity and so on.
Yeah. Well, she sounds very wise. It's actually why I've got an apartment with a kitchen and everything. I'm like, I'm going to eat proper meals. I'm not going to eat deep fried Mars bars.
Day 4, you're on your 17th pasty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Just fuck off!
Yeah.
This is who I am.
Then see someone that looks important. Hey, nice to meet you.
Yeah. That really did make me laugh about not actually taking a show up, but just doing the mingling. That is superb. So, Imogen, if
Great.
you're curating your dream gig, do you have any pre-gig rituals?
I've started. I don't. Yeah, my anxiety levels they vary a bit before gigs, but I've just started doing some basic things to calm anxiety. And one thing that I find really useful is thinking about my feet. Just literally thinking of my feet, really feeling them against the floor. And it does actually work. It does actually work. So I'll just take a few minutes to just really focus on my feet. Um,
The reason why my jaw hit my desk is because I do a lot of TV warm up,
yeah.
and the thing I do is I will often tie my shoelaces because I find that quite literally I find it it's a grounding experience. So I'm in the room, I'm present, and because
Yeah.
otherwise you can be a bit la la la, and then
Mhm.
before you know it, you're doing a warm up to X hundred people, and you've not. But I think
Mm.
what you're saying there, I think there's
Yes.
definitely something in there.
Yeah, I think it just sort of takes your brain away from the overthinking thing for a second, and then yeah, there's definitely the feet thing. There's something grounding in it. You're walking on a stage and feeling sort of connected to that somehow. That's interesting. You tie your shoelaces. I might try that. Don't always have shoelaces, but can.
It just has me right. Okay, as I'm tying them, I'm sort of thinking,
Mm.
right, okay, you're about to go on. Let's get in the zone, rather than because if you're chatting with crew members, which is lovely, but your head's not in the game at all.
Definitely, definitely. And
But
it's really yeah, it's interesting the live stuff as well, just how yeah, how it really does force you to be present, I think. And I guess that kind of gets you just into that mindset of just being present with something for a second. But it's an
so
interesting thing because usually my brain's just floating off and thinking about all different things, but you can't really, maybe when I get to a point where you just know your stuff so well, I've heard stand-ups say that they're thinking about what they're making for dinner later whilst doing their set. But when when you're learning it all, you have to really be present for fully for an hour, which is for someone that's, addicted to social media, it's probably really good for my brain.
so are you barefoot? Sorry, I'm really fixating on the foot
Yeah,
thing here.
yeah, yeah.
Is it a barefoot thing?
No, not really. You can still kind of picture your feet even if they're in shoes, but just I think it's a kind of, like a body scan type thing, but for some reason just I only do the feet.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I once interviewed Deepak Chopra, and he said about the reason why I said barefoot.
Mm.
He felt you had to your bare feet should touch the grass for 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes a day, or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, interesting.
But then
Um
he ended up on the Epstein file, so maybe not the best
yeah.
person to. Tim, I
Yeah.
think we'll be googling that before the episode goes out, just to be on the safe side. He
Maybe I'll
was on
Google
there.
it now.
If there's a weird jump cut, you'll know why. If there's
Yeah.
not, we he's definitely on them.
When
uh,
in doubt, assume they are, that's what I say. Maybe not.
he, I mean, you ever had a freak? The early, oh, yeah, he's on them. Okay.
Oh God.
Better friendship between 2016 and 2019. Okay. Who's your MC?
Funny you brought him up, actually. It's same guy. Um,
Diddy is your MC. Jesus Christ. Right, yeah, okay, sorry. Tim is right. Who would MC this gig?
so I've kind of gone. I've mostly gone for kind of straight stand-up people, and as I was saying before, I my love of comedy has always kind of been from sitcom narrative. So the straight stand-up world, I love, but I haven't. I'm not as well versed in. I haven't seen sort of all of the stand-ups out there. But I did go for, so I'm not sure if I've chosen necessarily, you guys can tell me if who I've chosen for which bit would necessarily be really good at this job. But I've chosen Mo Gilligan as the MC
Right.
because
Great choice.
yeah, I feel like I don't think I've never seen him. I've seen him live. I've never seen him MC for someone, but I feel like his skill set would lead well to that. He kind of just puts me in a good mood. He's really bright and friendly, and he's really able to take the piss out of people without being offensive, really, with being on your side, but can take the piss. And I think that that's really good in an MC. Like, I think his crowd work and stuff would he just nail that? And yeah, as I said, he's just quite like a bright presence. He's always kind of smiling, and I think that's quite nice to just for someone to walk out and kind of have that energy.
There's a twinkle in his eye. There's no
Mm,
malice. So I've seen him take the piss, but the person he's taking the piss out of, no one in the room is laughing louder than that person.
Yeah.
It's done in a really lovely way. I think he's really great. We shared a dressing room for Stand Up Central,
mhm.
so we're going back quite a few years.
Yeah.
And I was the warm up. He was on it. Love Mo enormously. And after the show, this was as his star was really taking off, and
Yeah.
then after the show, he was like surrounded by agents and producers, and they were all. I'm just like silently getting changed, packing my
Yeah.
rucksack. No one talking to me, and they're all, oh, we'd love to work with you on this, and love to work with you on that. And I did have that moment of, oh, so that's what that must feel like. Single tear down my right cheek, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine. It is tough when you're literally in the same room when that's happening. I think I've had those I mean, sometimes, even it's not quite the same, but similar. I'm with someone I work with, and then they get recognized, and then you're just standing there like, maybe you've seen me as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. My dog's just standing by the door. I'm just going to open it to see if she needs a wee because I don't want
Sure,
to. Yeah.
sure.
I am back. But yeah, what do you feel like makes a good MC then? Because obviously you're, you know, you're the guy to ask.
Makes a good MC. For me personally,
Mm.
you just want to pomp as much sort of like love and togetherness while being funny
Mm.
into the room as possible. So when that first act walks on, it's properly
Yeah,
rocking.
they're
Uh,
warned as
but then everyone's got different. Everyone's got different ways.
yeah, everyone's got different skills. Sorry, my dog's
No,
being
you're all right.
go sit over there. Sorry. Sorry, guys. Oh, dog parenthood.
This is a good
Sorry,
insight for me. It's honestly, it's
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
she just wants to sit in the sun. That's all it was.
So
Yeah,
I always think I needed to got as many laughs as I can, so that they're in the mood for laughing for the first act. But then also the energy's got to be really good as
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Uh,
So that's why I thought Mo would be a good choice for the
Mo's
secondary.
great, and he's so. That's another thing. He's so innately likable, which is an
Yeah.
important
And
thing.
he's someone that came up of social media as well. He's kind of one of the
Yeah.
first
He
sort of big
was
UK people.
he
Um,
was he was working in I think it was a shoe shop,
Mm.
mm,
and he did his different types of MC in the club or something like that. I think that was
yeah,
his first
yeah,
video, and then he was in work the next day, and people were coming up to him going, "Are you the MCs in a club guy?" And he was like,
yeah.
"Yeah." I mean, the dude's a trailblazer.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, his success is just amazing and really well deserved. I think he was doing stand-up before, but like,
He was
yeah, but having those videos really just,
he was called Mo the comedian.
yeah.
God, I'm really dating this. This would be like late noughties,
Oh wow.
early
So
twenty 10s.
were you aware of him before then?
I think we started at a similar. I think we started at a similar-ish time. I could be wrong. Apologies to Mo on that. But yeah, he was one of the first guys. Yeah, he'd been a stand-up for a while, but then he was one of the very first people to successfully use the phone to do characters
Yeah,
and stuff. I mean, it
yeah, yeah,
was
yeah.
jump cut to he's hosting the Brits and winning
I
BAFTAs
know,
and so on. I mean, it's fun.
I know, and he's kind of
Big.
broken America
I was
and
about
doing
to say, and doing Big in
well.
America, pictures
Yeah,
with actual Eddie Murphy this
I
week.
know. It's amazing. I think it has a lot to say about his sort of likability and just yeah, yeah.
He's into manifesting.
Oh, is he? Interesting.
He
Hmm,
is.
maybe
Um,
yeah.
have you ever gone down that avenue?
Manifesting. No, I remember there was one time where I was trying, well, actually, yeah, a little bit. I remember I was, so bringing it back to my dog, but I was like, so her health had been quite bad, and I think I was just I don't know, writing down something every day, like, or, oh, I was, I guess it's not really manifesting, but people go on about the 1111, the angel number. So anytime I would see it on the time, whenever it was that time, I'd be like, you kind of wish for something, you kind of manifest something. I was like, I really hope my dog's health stays good this year. That was like my main thing. And then like a week later, she broke her leg. And I had to put her in a crate for like 8 weeks, and it was absolute hell. So I was just like, fuck that, doesn't work. Never gone back to it. It's all that time I wasted. Probably only about a week of doing it, but
Now,
it
hang on. What is
doesn't
the
work.
1111 angel thing?
I really don't know much about it, and maybe this is why it didn't work for me because I'm just following some trend. But it's they're apparently 1111. It's angel numbers, and I think that the vague idea could be really wrong, but is that an angel is kind of looking over you in that moment or something. So you, if you kind of manifest or something at when you see those numbers, then it comes true. But
So
yeah,
it doesn't have to be. I couldn't be more engrossed here. So it doesn't have to
I
be.
don't know enough, which is embarrassing. Yeah, go on.
It'd be funny if you just made it up, and I'm like, yeah, go on, yeah. What? I dress like an angel, yeah. Walk around the supermarket, yeah, yeah, makes sense, yeah, sure, yeah. So it doesn't have to be 11 minutes past 11 per se, but if you see the numbers 11:11,
That I'm not sure about. I did just say that, but I'd have to look it up.
it
I was
sounded very
doing it.
convincing.
It did, didn't it? I should really, yeah. I was only doing it when I saw the time on the clock. And it's a weird thing, you know how your body kind of syncs up with time, how you sometimes you go for a phase where you're like always waking up at exactly the same time and stuff. I would always
Yeah,
find the time, when I'd look at the clock and it would be 11:11. So I think that encouraged me. But I think that's just a weird, interesting body clock thing that knows to check somehow at that time. But yeah, it
love
didn't
it.
work. So forget everything you heard about it.
Okay, who would open?
So I've written, and I don't know if an she's deserves a bigger slot, I guess, than an opener, but I have written Joanne McNally.
Love.
I'm just always blown away by how quick she is. She's so quick and witty, and again, I think the energy, having that energy at sort of like the beginning of a show, would would just get me excited. But yeah, it was hard to choose an opener. I couldn't really think who.
It's a great choice. I mean,
Okay.
the love for. I mean, you're picking two very beloved actors here. When McAnally walks on stage, it's like Diana has entered the room. I mean, people,
Mm.
Timo, the McAnally fans, they almost want to touch her like she's a
Oh yeah,
deity.
yeah.
I mean,
She is one of the biggest queens in the world now. It's crazy. Like
Yeah,
she's that tour just going on and on and on, and she must perform it to millions by the time this tour finishes. It's crazy.
yeah, yeah. She really just has something. I think there's some people that just feel like they're they're really made for the job, and I think you feel like you're in good hands.
she's
I
al-
like feeling like that.
she's also created that magical thing where her fan base, when they're buying tickets to her show, that night is party time.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's a whole event, isn't it?
Yeah, there's girls I went to uni with. They went to one of the Apollo dates. They love the comedy, but they're also all getting on the smash together
Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, yeah, and I
in
think
the best way
yeah,
possible. You know,
yeah. No, I think kind of want a bit of that when you go and see comedy. It's more than just sitting back and watching like a bit of theatre. It's sort of like you want to get a bit involved, and I think she does create that.
I think they all got dressed up as Joanne. I think they
Did
all wore
they?
I think they all wore Adidas tracksuits.
I'm so glad.
absolutely believe that. I can absolutely believe
Yeah. Who would middle?
So again, this might show. I don't know how well these people all kind of blend together.
Can I just say that I love that you keep saying this and
I
then
know, I'm
nailing
really
each
insecure
no, but
about
then
it.
nailing each selection. You know, I picked a footballer. I don't know, Lionel
Yeah.
Messi. Does this work? I don't
No,
know.
guys. Tell me if I'm wrong. But yeah, someone I've really been enjoying and I discovered kind of more recently is Robbie Hoffman. Uh,
Yeah,
I
so
just
funny.
she's again someone that just feels like I can't imagine you doing any other job than stand up. She just seems really perfect for it. And I like her sort of aggression. So she's someone that's I guess quite different than especially Mo. She, she kind of it's just a bit more edgy. And she kind of senses she's sort of irritated by things, but I quite like that because then that speaks to that
Yeah,
other part of me. And I
May I
tend
just say that you've curated this beautifully because there's so much goodwill in the room now that there can be a bit more edge and fire, if you like.
Yeah, I think you kind of would want it at this, what I would want it at this stage. And you've had it by this point, you've had a few drinks, so you're kind of ready to laugh at the slightly
yeah.
more.
And they're
And
having a real moment right now, aren't they? They're
mm,
one of the absolute.
Someone described her as like a young lesbian Larry David, and like that's exactly it. So
I
so
think that's
brilliant.
why I'm so in love with him at the moment because I absolutely love Larry David.
Yeah,
It's yeah, yeah. It's just yeah, I'm really into it. Yeah.
Great picks. What a show this is. The pressure on the opener, on the closer is
Those are-
overwhelming. Who's closing this juggernaut?
So I've gone for character comedians, very different vibe, and I've gone for Natasha Demetriou and Ellie White.
Oh, lovely,
Oh,
great.
So very different vibe, but I think by that point I want to see something a little bit different. And yeah, I don't know what they'd be doing. I'd want maybe something I haven't seen before and just let them do their thing. But yeah, they're big inspirations to me. They're hilarious and bring a bit of silliness to the end, I think.
have you met them?
I haven't, no. No.
How would you be if you met? Reason why I'm saying this, we had Rachel Galvo on the podcast,
Mm.
and she revealed that she loves Aisling B.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She'd never met Aisling B,
Yeah.
and then she met Aisling B at Always Be Comedy, and oh, it was a lovely moment. Would you be? What I'm saying is, would you be chill around them, or would you be? Oh my god, you know.
Well, I'm quite a big fan of Grace Campbell, and I met her recently, and I sort of found myself not really saying much for like the first few minutes, just kind of like, hey. And then she actually said to me, "Oh, I really like your online stuff." And then I kind of let her come up to me and give me the compliment. And then afterwards, I was like, why was I, I could have been a bit more enthusiastic. And then, by the time we spoken a bit, I'm sort of like, by the way, I really, really think you're so funny. So I wouldn't be very cool. I'd be too cool, and then I'd overcompensate, and
So,
then
so
try
you're
and
giving
text
these people the
after.
Instagram treatment.
Yeah. But I've been so messed up by this algorithm, haven't I?
Their telepathy is just their shorthand is it's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah,
As the double acts, I mean, they're just
absolutely.
incredible.
And I think, yeah, just seeing a double act that can work like that is just yeah, it's just nothing like it really. But I did also have as a backup, I did have Alan Partridge. I thought having a character comedian at the end would be fun, and yeah, he's a classic, but I think double act is fun for the end.
I will confess, if I've never met, even though I've been very lucky, we've met lots and lots of people.
Yeah, yeah.
Never met Coogan. That I
Mm,
think I would go to pieces if I met
yeah,
Coogan.
what would you do?
I would I would I think I'd be tongue tied. I
I
think
know to say.
I would really I would really struggle. I'm a big Pearl Jam fan. I once met their keyboard player, and I physically I went to pieces. I was with a friend who wouldn't know Pearl Jam in a
Um,
minute, and he had to do all the talking for me because
yeah.
the
It's so
moment meant
annoying.
nothing to him.
It's so annoying because then you look back and you're like, that was my one chance. I could have done it so many different ways, but you can't help it. I have a friend that she did a scene with Steve Coogan in his latest Alan Partridge show, and I was just like, oh my God, that is my dream.
That's
But
so
then I
great.
was also like, yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it. So
I won't be able to get the
no point in
words out.
dreaming it. No. And she was like, a lot of it was improvised as well.
Oh my
I know,
god!
I
What a
know.
guy!
I
Oh
know.
man.
I just love that he's so. I mean, I think I watched This Time, and I think that was like one of my favorite things that he's done, and that was recent. And I'm just like, how the fact he's kept this character going for so long, and he just adapts with the times, and he perfectly pitches him for things that are kind of going on now. It's just really yeah, it's just inspiring, really.
I think what he did. I don't know if you would do this with characters.
Mm,
I think the character evolving the character and changing it
mm,
is part of the genius. So
exactly.
it's not a one dimensional character. He started off as just the naff sports reporter,
Yeah,
whereas now I mean like the stuff he's done with Audible. Sounds like we're
yeah.
doing sponsored
I
content here.
know, literally.
Um,
No, but it makes him feel so real because
it does.
it's exactly what he would be, how he would be acting. And there are those sort of British celebs that span over decades, and yeah, he just feels like he's just real to me.
Absolutely. I used to work at Shortlist and Stylist magazine, and they had Partridge came in to be like the cultural editor, and he
Hmm.
never dropped character.
Yeah, so funny.
I did
I think
still
he
didn't need
must be
to.
second nature to Steve Coogan now. I mean,
Mm.
Has there ever been an incident at a gig that you would somehow love to replicate at this show?
Well, it's a bit vague, but I do like it when there's an audience member is just unexpectedly really funny. You know, where like doing a bit of crowd work and then they're just the audience member is just comes out with some great one-liners. Either it's they're not trying to be funny, but they're just clearly a character, or they are genuinely quite funny. But it has to be pitched perfectly right that they because it's quite funny sometimes you see comedians when an audience member is quite funny, they don't really like it.
Yeah, yeah.
But you need it to be that they can just bounce off of each other and it just kind of it's the element of surprise about it is kind of what's so funny about it, I think. Um
I know exactly what you mean.
mm,
They sort of it's the parameters have to be so specific because being funny, yes, but when they're if they think they're being the star of the show and they're enjoying it a bit too much, then it can spill over a bit. You know, it's
yeah,
tricky, isn't it?
it's a fine line. And actually, I think that on the other question of what do you not want to happen, it's almost like the same answer, but just
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
just the wrong audience member trying to
When,
take over.
whenever the audience might be thinking of this person, just shut up, and then you can kill the vibe of the gig.
Yeah,
I was warming up. I had a warm up last night, and I was chatting with the crowd, and I asked someone where have you travelled from,
yeah.
and the first person, let's say they said Essex. How long has that taken? About an hour. Okay,
Mm.
and then I was chatting with someone else. Where have you travelled from? And it was somewhere in Bedfordshire. How long has that taken? About an hour. And then I went to the crowd. Jesus Christ! Anyone else that didn't take about an hour? And then what happened is that the crowd telepathically took it upon themselves, no matter where they travelled from in the country.
yeah.
When I asked them how long did that take, and
Yeah.
they said about an hour. And every time someone said about an hour, with my hand to God, every single audience member, yeah. So that a woman had travelled from Bradford. How long did that take? And obviously, if anyone's travelled from
Yeah.
Bradford to get to London,
Oh,
it's about 2 hours and 20 on the train. If you're
mm.
thinking, I would say all in at least 3 hours. And God bless her, she understood the assignment, and she said about an hour, and there was
Yeah.
nearly a Mexican wave. And
Do you know what it
it's
reminds me of? I used to do a lot of babysitting, and it's like when you've got a group of kids and they all just one of them starts something and then they just all start saying, I don't know why, or like just some stupid
yeah, yeah,
catchphrase, and then they're all in hysterics and you're kind of like left out of it or something.
yeah. Or
But
you try join in, and not you.
yeah, they're like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So funny.
Has there been an incident that must not happen at this gig?
Um, I was gonna say that it related to what we were saying. Maybe this has never happened to me before, but that I try and go up to one of the comics and it just doesn't go well. I can sort of imagine that happening, like not with any of the ones that I've suggested, but that I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go and try and meet them and it's gonna be great. And then they're probably just knackered or I'm really embarrassing, and then I just completely ruin the whole experience of a great night for me.
Oh man.
That isn't. Oh, we had a. Oh man, we had a. There was a comedian, and someone who used to work at Always Be Comedy is an uber fan of this comedian,
Mm.
and they were. I was there. I saw it, and they were so nice. And they said to the comedian, "Oh man," and I know how much this comedian means to them. But they said something like, "Oh my gosh, I've travelled all over the country to see you. I saw you here. I saw you there. When you recorded your special, I was on the front row.
Mm.
I travelled up to blah blah, wherever it may have been,
Mm.
for the recording. I took, they took it. I know that they'd taken a day off work, and the comedian
Yeah.
just went, all right, and you
Oh.
could actually hear my friend's heart. That's a Simpsons line. You could hear my friend's heart
Oh
break.
no. There's an online, quite an embarrassing story actually that I'm like, I've never done that before, but actually this kind of is quite similar. But there's an online comedian who's on the US SNL, Veronica Slowakowska, and she came to London and did a show, and I'm a fan of her and her partner Kyle. Anyway, they did a show in London. I went to see it, so she actually follows me on TikTok. And I think she's like liked a video or two or whatever. So I was like, well, maybe, maybe she kind of knows me then. Like, you never know how much following, it could either be
Yeah.
someone follows you and they're like a really big fan, or they followed
Yeah.
you 2 years ago and they've forgotten who the fuck you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think it was the latter in this case, because afterwards I was like, well, let me try. She was kind of doing a bit of a meet and greet anyway. So I was like, let me try and go up and just say hi. And I was sort of planning to be like, oh, you follow me kind of thing. And then my boyfriend was like, no, don't say that. That sounds really like try hard. So I was like, okay, I won't say, I'll just see if she does. Didn't recognize me at all. Took a fan photo with her. She was really lovely, but treated me obviously exactly like she treated everyone else in the queue. And it was just humiliating because I was like, great, we're gonna get to meet. We're gonna two comedians, just, have a nice chat about comedy. And it was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Oh, thanks so much for coming. Do you want a photo? Great. Yeah. So that.
So you're expecting. Of course, I'd like to go for a meal with you. Oh,
Exactly. Yeah, let's hang out tomorrow. What, come stay in my spare room in London if you want. No biggie.
I've got a sofa bed. You are
Yeah,
welcome
yeah,
to
exactly.
come up and stay.
I don't know. I don't know if you're
Man.
going to want to hear this. I think you could have said you follow me.
I,
She
I
likes a
think
couple of your
that
videos.
too.
I think it's okay personally. What do you think,
Would-
Jack?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think I should have as well, but then I suppose there's the moment of realizing she doesn't remember who I am, even though she follows me, which might have been worse. But I did say to her, "Oh, I do social media as well," as a bit of a like,
Mm,
"Oh yeah, you're that girl."
yeah.
But it was like, "Oh, do you? Oh, that's great. Do you want to take a photo?"
Mind you, what
So
could
horrible.
just to make you feel better?
Yeah.
A comedian we know was followed by quite a well-known actor,
Mm.
and they were in London filming, and our friend DM'd them thinking, well, if they follow me, they must be a fan.
Yeah.
And they said something like, if you want to meet up for if you're new to London,
Mm.
meet up for a meal. And they read they read the message and then unfollowed.
Oh no! Oh no, that's horrible. I thought you were just going to end on just left on red, but to unfollow.
Oh
Oh,
God!
that's absolute. I'm sorry, but that person's a bit of a dick. Like that's unnecessary, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Meryl, if you're listening, the offer still stands.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
final question:
Yeah.
how do you unwind after a gig?
I don't have a I mean, having a drink is kind of the obvious one, but then I don't, yeah, you don't always feel, I kind of, doing the live stuff, I sort of expected to feel like you do get a bit of a high after, but I think I expected it to be a bit more of like this amazing feeling. But actually, sometimes I've come off stage and I just feel a bit low because you're like, you just, all the adrenaline suddenly kind of comes crashing down. So sometimes it really, my mood can massively vary, basically. I think if I'm on a bit of a high, I've got some mates there, have a drink, have a nice evening. But then sometimes, yeah, I've had it before where it's not even necessarily related to how well it goes, but just like you've been working on it all week or something, and you're just like, ah. And then I think I would maybe have a bath.
We had someone who else had a bath recently, Timo. As a way of unwinding.
I can't remember, but
Can't remember. Someone else did
I
that.
agree. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you have a bath, Tim?
Like if I have like a night off, I'd say let's say 1 in 5 nights off, I'll have a bath. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If I got home at 11 p.m. and woke up Emily and the girls because I was having a bath,
Yeah.
the three of them would be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
But that's what has to be a night
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, I can see why that would be annoying. Yeah. But there's something a bit crazy about it. When it's the least crazy thing to have a bath, but there's something about having a bath at like 11 or midnight
And it does help
and a
you.
drink, and then you're like, I'm getting in the bath.
But it does help you. Boo! It does,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
And sometimes you're a bit, if you've been out and you've traveled back from somewhere in London, you're a bit freezing and you just get a little bit warm. But I think most of the time, I'll be honest, I'm probably having a drink rather than a bath.
Yeah.
We're all watching Peep Show
Yeah, exactly.
on the sofa bed. Imogen, that was great. Lovely to meet you. Thank you.
Yeah,
And
lovely to
thank you so much. Best of luck with the show. Good luck with Lorne Michaels happens to be in one night.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it will all go really, really well.
And you know what? Let's all pretend it's 11 minutes past 11 rather than 11
Yeah.
minute past 12. And we're all sending positive vibes for the
Oh,
dog. How's that?
thank you. Thank you. Well, maybe don't, because last time, as I said, you then broke a leg, but we can try again. Maybe 12:11 is the new number.
12 11's the new 11 11. Thank you very much. That
Yeah,
was
well,
great.
no,
And
thanks,
good
guys.
luck with
Lovely to meet you
everything.
as well. And thanks for having me on.
Thanks,
Cheers, Imogen.
Imogen.
Take
All the
care.
best. Take care.
Thanks a
Bye.
lot. Huge and heartfelt thanks to Imogen Andrews. Timo, it's one of those impossible ones.
Yeah.
Favourite memory.
God.
We've never met Imogen Andrews. We're certainly not going to say e-meet. Timo, does that go through you like a cheap dose of salt, as it does me when someone says nice to e-meet you?
I thankfully I don't really ever encounter that. Certainly not a few years removed from lockdown. Anyway, like it's been a long time since I've had to encounter that, so not so much.
Okay. Yeah, me neither. Right, Timo, favourite memory. This is we can do this. Let's do this.
I enjoyed imparting Edinburgh advice, something like that. Yeah.
I would say I like the fact that the hat was very politely and respectfully thrown in the ring for SNL. And you know what, Tim? I think
Nice.
it is important. The lesson there, and I need to take this on board. The lesson there is it is good. Perhaps it is good sometimes to put yourself forward for stuff. Don't be afraid. I'm going to share a story. I was asked. I've been pals with Johnny. I'm going to name drop John Bishop. I've been his warm up guy for donkey's years, and someone who's helped me on a personal level a great deal down the years. Love the man. And then he had a TV show, and I was asked, as someone who, as with Tim Lewis, we're well connected in the world of comedy. Tim, we know what's going on, right? So we're often asked for advice.
Yeah.
So I was asked, could you recommend a writer to help with this show? And I did, and I recommended people. But the little nagging voice in my head was going, put yourself forward. You write. You can write monologue jokes. But then you're like, nah, James, come on, give in. And then, so I was putting people forward, and then I went, could I put myself forward? And the producer went, yeah, sure, yeah. So I was tasked with spending a full day writing topical jokes, and because I know John, so I wrote them in John's. I know how to write in John's voice. Put them forward. The producer came back. Yeah, this is exactly what we're looking for. You've got the job. So I got the.
Lovely.
So it was just me and Johnny Bish. We've got a good shorthand. We get on well. So and that is one of the greatest experiences of my career, was working on the Johnny Bish show. And so, Tim, the lesson there is sometimes I think it's sometimes if you're from a working class background, you can be quite down on yourself, and you often think, no, you fool, come on. Whereas I think a bit more self-confidence sometimes doesn't go amiss, Tim.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, I'm so thrilled. It was a lovely old time you were right on that show. Yeah, I think, put yourself forward. If you think you can do it, it's worth having a go.
I remember telling Tucson Douglas that story. We're going back a few years, but I told Tucson, and I think he sort of like punched the air for me, because I think
That's
he's
nice.
not from a dissimilar background. Hang on, by the way, I'm not making out it's Angela's Ashes or anything like that. It's just absolute regular, I think Tim, is there sometimes an assumption when if the words working class are used, that if you're from quite a posher background, you assume that working class means that it was like the Monty Python Four Yorkshiremen sketch, whereas really it's not that.
It's a wide scope. It's a spectrum.
It's a wide scope.
It's a spectrum.
And you can join me on my TED Talk, which will be. Are they still a thing, TED Talks?
I think they are. They're not the thing that they were, but I think they still exist.
They were a thing. Do you remember when they were a thing?
Let's talk. TED Talk into YouTube. Okay. Well, all things coming up are from 6 and 8 years ago and 11 years ago. Maybe I'll.
Are they? Right. I'm gonna ask the question. Are TED Talks?
Yes, they
no.
are. They are. And
Yes,
they're still doing
Talks.
numbers. They do still do numbers.
Oh, that's interesting. Tim, if we were to give a TED Talk, what would it be about? I think I think we did that on last week's episode, talking about comedians pulling out at short notice.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Right. Big thanks to Imogen and the people who helped make it happen. We immediately emailed to pass on our thanks because they were. Timo, it's important to do that when someone's been above and beyond lovely.
Yeah. Oh, good. Absolutely. Yeah.
Here's one, Tim. How to discover your authentic self at any age.
Is that a TED talk?
Yeah, sorry, I should have made that clearer.
Yeah. Brilliant.
6.3 million plays 4 years ago.
Goodness me. They're still big.
They are. Hang on, have I got a cough in the last 10 seconds?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Absolutely extraordinary. Look, big thanks always. We will see you at a show soon. Tim, we've got to say, the Bill Bailey show last night, again, the crowd, bloody Nora, outstanding.
So much fun. So much fun. Yeah, it's great stuff. Bill's changing instruments. I was helping him change instruments. I felt like a roadie from Metallica. It was great.
You must have loved that, actually, handing him that, whatever that instrument was.
It was genuinely, it was like, oh, this is cool. This is nice.
Bill Bailey, it's important to share this, ensured that Tim Lewis got a special round of applause.
He did. Very good film. Very, very kind. Yeah, much appreciated.
There is a correlation between the greats who are our favourites and being good dudes. Harry Hill leaps to mind.
Oh, yeah. A great man.
Right, huge and heartfelt thanks, as always. See you at a show soon. Oh, Tim, actually... We must say, we did 3 shows last night, 2 at the Tommy Field, 1 in Chelsea. Chelsea sounded like a banger. How about Fern Brady on that Mixed Bill show last night?
Genuinely, it's one of my favourite sets in a long time. I thought she was really, really excellent. And she's writing this new book coming out later this year. So she hasn't done much gigging recently. You couldn't tell. She was exceptional.
She was enjoying it so much. I took a pic.
Yeah,
shared it on the blooming socials, and she's having so much fun. You can see the joy in her face.
Yeah. It was great. It was really. I've known Farron for a while now. A lot of fun. So much fun.
We don't tweet like we used to, just for all sorts of reasons.
Yeah,
hours in the day partly, but also if you want to follow us on the socials, really, it's Instagram is where it's at, Tim.
Very, very much so. Very, very much so. That's where stuff's happening on that multiple times a day.
I would, Timo, and look, I know we joke about being 1,000 years old, and you're not 1,000 years old, by the way, but 23.3 thousand followers now on Instagram.
Yeah, absolutely. We're Comedy Night, Imogen Andrews, something like that.
She's absolutely bricking it. Big thanks, guys. See you at a show soon. Lots of love. Bye.